Good morning, and welcome to Mindset Monday. I'm Shelley Butler.
I'm Yves Doucet.
And we have a special guest this morning on Mindset Monday, Angelique Binet. She is based here in New Brunswick. She's an online visibility strategist, TEDx speaker, best-selling author, and founder of Social Media Love. I personally have taken a course with Angelique. It was a beautiful course. So thank you so much, Angelique, for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. It helped me get up like more alive this morning. I was like, yeah, we're having a show this morning.
Absolutely, we're having a show. And we just lost our monitor, but that's okay.
It's okay.
It usually comes back.
She's alone. We're not there. Oh, no, we're there.
It's because we're talking.
I'm here. I see you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Yeah, we've got a glitchy monitor here every now and again. It throws us off, but hey. So Angelique, tell us all about Social Media Love.
Social Media Love, we were talking about the universe. It's a planet.
It is.
It's funny how the name of my business didn't come with the business. It came like years in. And I remember asking my community in a Facebook group, like, what should I call that thing that we're doing? And I gave them a few options. And because everybody comes to me, I hate social media. And I'm like, I love social media. So, and then after working a few weeks and months and years together, seeing, female entrepreneurs turning their perspective on how to use social media for the good of things, they start to love it and they start to do live and being part of it. So Social Media Love really is about that. It's about being social, number one, whether it's on social media or not. But if you're on social media, that's kind of part of the deal. And that's why I love your show, because you're so social every Monday. Like you're so like if I was in your living room and listening to you, even if I don't stay the whole thing, but it's just like very intimate. So and love, because love is about everything. It's everywhere, it's everyone. And then that's kind of the idea behind it, because I believe that if you don't love the people you talk to on social media, it's going to be very painful. It's going to be very heavy. So it's spreading the love through media. I used to be a reporter on TV, and then, Facebook came in, and then I realized you can have your own TV now with all the tools we have, and even more now with AI and everything. So that's kind of the idea behind it.
So, okay, I have a question, like maybe with like 15 parts, but one question. So, social media love. So the big thing people are afraid of is like you post something and then you get this comment about like what that means or what that doesn't mean. Yeah. So I don't know what you call those people, but like the haters right? So can you love your haters in your world? Oh, you can love your haters. Okay.
You can, like, I have a very policy, like a very strict policy around this.
Okay.
I don't tolerate any harassment or segregation. So like that's how you can be my comment, but as soon as it touches that field of interactions, you're banned and you're out. And I mentioned that I'm not tolerating that behavior. Now, that's one, and it rarely happens in my world.
How do you ban?
There is ways, like if you click on I think, is it still three dots in the comment?
I'm not sure. Three dots, yeah.
Yes, and then you can report ban or remove or hide.
Okay,
but
so
I would never do that before I express the limit, the boundary, so that my audience knows. But the other thing is that there are people who don't agree with you, or they criticize the way you look.
I hate those people.
But that
well,
my way of dealing with those ones is like, listen, you don't have to be there. The door is here.
Yeah.
And whenever you want to come back, the door is open. Like nobody has to be in my world, so you're welcome to exit. Right. Yeah,
So okay, so you said something else. I'm taking over.
I
Sorry.
love it.
I'm
I
sorry.
love it. I love it.
I'm so engaged here. So Angelique, what I want to know is you said something. It hardly happens in my platform.
yeah,
That is not the experience that most people on social media would have.
yeah.
That when I don't know. Like I'm just looking at some of my friends who are influencers, so-called influencers, and I don't have a lot of hate on my platform either. Do
No,
you?
you have two.
I have two haters. You?
Yeah, you have two.
I have two.
Yeah.
I have. What are you talking about?
Well, not haters, but ones that'll push back your methodology, your vision,
Oh, I have
your
two.
philosophies. You have two. Yeah. You
Okay.
already got rid of one.
Okay.
I
So
I could name them, but I won't.
okay. So I don't have a lot.
You don't.
Okay. And I don't know why. And you said something. It doesn't happen on your platform. Does it happen on yours?
Never.
So okay. Question for the panel. Why? Why does it happen to you, but it happens to other people?
I have an answer for this one. I really believe that where you put your focus and attention is where energy goes, and it works on at that level too. Like if you keep being worried about what other think of you or will do, they will think and express about you, and they will do whatever you don't want them to do. I think that's the core of the energy you bring to the room is the same that the energy you bring online.
I like you. Okay. So, so why do you think, Shelley, that you don't get a lot of haters on your platform?
I don't. If you look at my platform and look what I share, there's very little risk.
Less than me? You have less than two?
Very well. There's no. And the thing is when somebody comes on and causes, I call it controversy,
Yeah.
right, on my platform. I like that. I like that. I actually say, come on, like I'd love to have a little more controversy, actually, and probably if I put myself a little more risky. I mean, what am I really posting, right? I don't think I'm posting anything that would be like a
Controversial?
viewpoint or something that's controversial. So,
Ah,
but I do like that. I don't have, and I have a lot of followers, but I don't have anybody that's saying, wow, I can't believe you're sharing your exercise videos. Like you're so, like I don't
okay.
have that.
So another question for the panel. Do you post anything that's controversial?
Well, controversial to who? you know?
Or
So,
do you purposely not do that?
oh, I don't
Mm-mm.
filter like that.
Okay.
No,
No, she doesn't. Because you post one that's controversial and you've posted it a couple times, and it sends me in a little bit of a spiral.
What was it
so
about?
you
So
see, I love this because I have no idea what's controversial to you, right?
So I'll tell you
It's,
what's controversial to me is when you post, and I've saw it a couple times. So when you post something like I've asked you to do stuff, and you people aren't doing it. You don't say it in that way, but you know that post where it's
People.
so it's obviously after a course or after a session, right? So he gives out sessions as well. So if people aren't doing the work that they say that they are going to do, when they're in front of you and say, Angelique, I'm going to do that work, and then they don't do the work, Angelique will come online and go, hey, you promised to do the work. You're not doing the work,
okay, that way. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
So why is
yeah,
that
yeah.
controversial? I don't think that's controversial.
Because she's calling out people. Not
Ah,
specific people, right? But obviously, I look at myself and go, oh, maybe I'm not doing the work.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, I love it. So you know how, and I think you guys talk about that all the time too, like how everything is a trauma response, right? Um, what?
I'm so full of trauma. I am.
Oh, well, we are all,
Yeah.
we
Oh, yeah.
everything we do, everything we say is based on, unless you're aware of it, but and that's why, this is part of the work I had to do a lot on myself, like not to take anything personally.
Ah.
Yeah.
Is it hard?
Well, yeah, but when it's your habit,
Oh yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
but that untethering of that part, changes everything because in your relationship, intimate relationship, in everything, right? If like one of the belief work that I've done for years is what other things of me is none of my business.
Mm.
So that detachment was helpful because I was not like trying to understand, oh my God, she didn't answer me. What does that mean? Okay, she's mad. She didn't like what I said. Like, I don't do that anymore. What?
Why you
What
don't
is
do
that?
that? What was that for? Are you one of my haters? Is that,
Absolutely not. No, no. But
I love what you said. That's what
yeah,
she's. That's what that means. Like you're
that's what,
talking our language.
yeah,
Oh,
Like
okay.
you're part of our like weird group of
the
people that
group,
work on themselves and say, "Oh, maybe it's like not about me.
Yeah,
Maybe."
like we make everything about ourselves, but
Mm,
it's the human way, right? Until we untether from it. When you become aware of it, and so most of my life, and that's why my what I call in my work my emotional addictions was overwhelm. Because if you take everything about you, then it's overwhelming,
mm.
right? And the nervous system really gets hijacked, and then everything, freeze. But yeah, so that's part of to go back to the comment section. Like if people say things, I never take it personally, right? And when I notice I do, I'm like, oh, this is so interesting. That is ding. And then I pretend to be on a little path and there are big rocks and I pick the rock and I look what's under this, you know? And then that's it. It helps me grow, I guess.
Do you throw the rock at the person?
No.
So okay, so this is interesting. So some of our friends are social media people, and they go there, and you get haters. But you're talking about something a little deeper, because every single one of us has thoughts about ourselves, and we have relationships, and oh, she said, he said, whatever, and we make it about us. It means that, right? So do you bring that practice into your personal lives as well? Do you bring that rock? Do you look under the rock in your personal relationships too?
Yes, yes. So um I've I believed for a long time that I had to save everyone around me. So when people were not feeling good, I had to do everything so that they feel good. So if, let's say, in my private life, if my partner would be like moody, I would make it mean about something about me. What happened? Like trying to analyze, overthink. But,
Okay.
I learned how, emotion works, and everybody has their own story and their trauma response to whatever. It has nothing to do with you. And that's what I see in most of the cases in relationships. People split up or get mad at each other forever. And then it has nothing to do with both of them, actually. It's an unsolved thing on that side and that side. And then people think that they are the problem, but they need to take care of that. They're each side. Like, I'm trying to make it like very visual, but so that means it helped me to remove so much weight in my life. So much that I got sick, really sick. I released so much from that.
Okay.
I don't like, maybe the most work that I do right now is maybe if something comes up with my son, I still have this addiction to save him.
Mm, yeah.
There is no one to save.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But when it comes to our kids, it does take that extra
Yeah, like
practice.
that extra.
It absolutely does. And I love that you say that. It's something that Eve and I talk about often. Like you can, the old saying, you can bring the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Right. So we have what we call pillars in practice is here at Dovaco. And part of our practice is no self. So it's no attachment, no reaction, no attachment, no self. And a lot of people have a really difficult time with the no self. Even I went on courses with Baron Baptiste, and Baron Baptiste does a whole section on the I and me. And it broke me, Angelique. I got sick as well. It broke me because I believe that I was a servant leader. My leadership was all about serving others. And when I went through the exercises about the I and me, I realized that I didn't do anything unless it had to do with me. I was going to get a benefit from it, or I was going to realize my blame or my shame or whatever it was. And it broke me. I as well got very sick because I believed, truly believed that I was this one person. But after the exercises, after the, deep discussions, I realized that, you know what? I don't do anything unless it's for me. But I didn't real. It took me a year, another year to realize that no human does anything unless they're getting something out of it. We just don't. And it's okay. So no self doesn't mean that we put ourselves away in a box and don't come online and make sure that we're visible and make sure that we're fueling our joy and doing the things that we love to do. That's not what no self means. No self means that you are resting the ego at the door before you ever walk into that room. Can you take a few deep breaths and know that your material isn't the only material that's going to be shown today? Your
Mm-hmm.
energy should not be so forceful that others can't speak their mind. I'm surrounded by introverts at our job. Most programmers are introverts, and we aren't. So we
Well, I am.
Yeah.
deeply introverted. So we realize that to have a full inclusive situation here at Dovaco, the introverts must go first.
Okay, that's interesting.
Plus, we have to also have them know that they're introverts, the awareness that they are an introvert. So we have and I think you've used the product called ShowUp. So we built it for an in-house for us to be able to talk a little deeper to one another. Interesting enough, people were able to discuss so much being anonymous that now it's very easy for them to say, I need to go first. I'm an introvert. And if I don't go first, all of your information that you're giving out here is going to quash me. I have to walk away before I can share. So let me
Hmm.
share first. So important to realize who you are
Mm-hmm.
and the bravery and the courage. We actually have a courage program here at Dovaco. Yves put into place years ago. And why did you put courage into place at Dovaco?
Um, well, it was all about me. So actually, what happened is I went to this. At 60, I decided to take my yoga teacher training. So I went to Tulum, which was my first time that I've ever taken a trip for me by myself. In other words, it wasn't business, it wasn't about family, it was about friends, it was just about me. And it was called a training, but it was really, I thought it was a retreat, but it wasn't a retreat at all. It was really a deep dive into the soul. And when I came out of that, I wasn't the same person. I thought, well, that took a lot of courage for me to do that. And my definition of courage is not the same as yours. So we said, okay, let's put a program together that doesn't say, okay, everybody goes to this yoga training. Instead, what is courage for you? And so we'll provide the facilities. We'll provide some
Cash.
assets, some cash, some assets, some support.
Yep.
We'll say, yeah, you want to do that? Yes. People take their MBAs. Some people built their patios. Some people went on a big hike, the commute. I don't know what you called it, the trail in
The trail, yeah,
the trail in
that
the Europe
what's
there,
yeah,
Camino Trail,
Camino,
Camino?
yeah,
Yeah.
Camino.
Camino Trail. Some people did that. Yeah.
Some went to a spa for the first time. They had never. One woman had never. I won't say her name there. Had never treated herself to a spa,
Wow, that's
a day's
beautiful.
spa, right? Like a day when you think about that. So it's like the definition of courage is different for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So my courage is different. My definition of what it takes for me to take a step, and the intention behind that is like if you have courage to do one step, you'll have courage to take a risk, which is what courage is. And if you take a risk, then you'll go into innovative ways that you've never seen before. And that's what happened in Dobico. We're more innovative than before, not necessarily just because of courage. I think because of this girl here next to me, and so
Thank you, Eve.
allowing people to be themselves. So
Yeah.
I have a question for. So since you're an expert in love and in
An expert
love,
in love.
Love.
love in the
I never
business.
said that. I'm an expert in love.
Well,
You should.
so how do you like if women are taking everything personally that I have to fix you like you like and you have to like it's all like if you're in a management role and you're in a business and women we have a lot of leaders like most of the leaders here in Domico are women and women take it different than men. So men the way we take it personally we say well let me buy your life. I'll just give you more money. I'll give you more things. That's the way we provide. That's the way we take it personally. But women take it different personally. That's what I heard from you say. Did I hear that correctly? That women take it in a way that says,
I'm
well,
not sure if I would
yeah,
separate both
okay,
genders. I don't work with men enough to
okay.
tell you that. um,
Is there a reason why you don't work with men?
I there's still a beast to me to discover. You
Because
know,
you have focused on women.
yes. And you want a funny story? My very first ever client for my very first post that was on Kijiji. When I very first started, it was a man.
Hmm.
And he said, "You're not an online visibility strategist." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "You're a life coach. I just spent an hour with you talking social media, but you changed my life." I'm like, "What?"
Hmm.
So I'll never forget that guy. And that was the only man I had. But I was asked a few times. I would privately, not in a group yet. Yet. I'm not closing doors. It's just, you know, I know like the work I do on me help women. And
Hmm.
I'm not a man. So that's where maybe I put my barrier. But I'm not saying no forever. But for now,
Your
I love hanging
expertise.
out with women.
Mhm.
So
Awesome.
from a woman perspective, then from a management, like you, so a lot of
Yeah.
men work with women. A lot of people, like mostly at Domico, were a lot of
Men.
men. So we like a
I've
lot of
always
men,
worked with men
right?
because I've always worked in the computer industry. So,
Yeah, but the same with me. I'm a TV camera woman originally,
mm.
right? So
So how should like explain to me like the style of women in management roles? Like how does it come out if everything is about pleasing other people,
hmm
right?
yeah.
Explain to me how that like kind of comes up and how women and men can or just maybe just women because we're gonna keep it to that. That's okay. How do women relate to women in the workforce? That's another
Well,
experience.
it's everything about everything about visibility, whether it's for your marketing or being visible to your team or everything that you believe inside of you will have a ripple effect in the way you either react to a situation or respond to a situation, right? So that's why in my world we talk about radical personal responsibility, your ability to respond to a situation rather than to react. So most of the time when something happens, then right away we go to judgment or we go to an emotional state, and then we don't take a break, right? So when you start to understand that something happens, it has nothing to do with you, then you interrupt, like you check how you feel, like I don't know, some situations are horrific sometimes at work, like, so taking the time to acknowledge your emotional state so that you can breathe through it, or whatever is your somatic work, to feel more aligned and calm, so that you can take the response or the next step from that place of alignment of the woman who believes that she's the best leader, like she has at heart her team, or whatever is the situation. It's hard to talk about this without a specific example, but what I've noticed, and that's the same in female entrepreneurs I work with who have team, when you project your own limitations and your own beliefs to your team, then you unconsciously we kind of block our team, right? And I see that all the time. And I'm also an advertiser in big teams, right? And I see that all the time when it's time set a budget. Or hiring agencies. Some people are going to say, well, that's too much money, but that's their story with money that you bring to the workspace. And then now you're limiting the team who originally was saying, yeah, this agency is the best marketing agency for what we have to do. But then there is someone in the team that has limitation around money and bring it to the table that has nothing with her story with money. You know what I mean? That's how we bring our own, I call this, childhood traumas or the way we were raised. We bring that to the work table. And if you're not aware of it, you literally limit your team.
Okay.
That's why, as an employee, I love having conscious leaders leading me because we grow together. It's not about you know, and I don't know anything. It's like, what else is possible together? Does that answer a little bit of your question? That was a loaded question.
It really was a loaded question because, how explain to me the style of woman in a management role, and why would you think it would be any different than a man?
I was just asking a
Okay.
question.
I had a lot of men managers and directors, and actually they were amazing in terms of aligning with what I am looking for in life, like in terms of, 10 years ago, I think, or 15 years ago, when we started to consider that there is personal life and professional life, and they don't have to be separate. Like, you are the same person, so you have to take into account, that was like maybe 15, 20 years ago, where it became like trendy to think like this. And there were men in my who were supporting that in the teams I was part of.
So, sorry, I have another question.
Awesome.
So, you said the word conscious leader. So I love your answer, by the way. And maybe it was a bit of a test. So it's, I don't know. But
Do I
love,
pass the test?
yes,
Yeah.
you passed the test. Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, it's not a test. I'm just being
I
a
know.
little
I
facetious.
know. Me too.
I'm digging into your brain. I love it. And so you said the word conscious leader, right? So give me, like, maybe for our audience, because we're often like, I want to work for the best person. I want to be in a relationship with consciousness, right? I say this all the time. I don't want to have I like a surface level conversation. I want to have a conscious conversation, right? So maybe you can explain to the audience and to me, what is, like, how do you know you have there's a conscious leader? What are the signs of a conscious leader?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So consciousness for me is when number one, it takes to understand how the body works. Once you know that we have a mind and we have a body, the mind, language is thoughts, and it's like your leg. You're not your mind. You have a leg, you're not your leg when you're a soccer player, right? So that means you need to muscle up that leg to be able to be the best soccer player. The same with our mind. So once, for me, like when I meet someone and I have that little glimpse that, okay, they know that they're not everything that goes through that there is other way of thinking, number one. And then also the second part is the body, and the language of the body is the emotions. So being fully expressed to me is fully feeling your emotions and being every day the best master of your mind, until you die. Basically, it's an endless job, right? But the more you practice it, the more the gap between who you want to be and who you don't want to be, or you used to be, is shorter and shorter. And then your ability to go up and down in situation is faster and faster. Working with people like that is really fun because they don't take things personally.
So give me a real life example of a conscious leader who doesn't take things personally.
Yeah. So, actually, yeah, I know someone who, so 3 days a week, I run ads. I'm part of a big team of advertising, right? So I have someone that who's my boss, but it's just saying this is weird because I don't feel he's my boss the way, and I'm sure it's the same with you, the way you talk about how you work at your company. But so is my plus one. So when I don't agree with him, I say it. And because I don't take things personally, I more and more I take a chance with everyone that we're human and we know that it's not because I disagree with you that I don't like you, right? So and he's like that too. And he says like, that's so interesting. Can we take a minute? And I want to hear how you see the thing,
Oh, wow.
right? So
So
we,
that's how he responds.
yeah. So we got on Teams, and I said, here's the thing. Because my brain works, I am a very high level strategist, so I see everything from a bird's view. That's my strength. And this is with the female entrepreneurs I work with, I see what's missing right away, like from like an eagle. And so I share that. That's why people hire me. And so, and then most of the time it's like, okay, I didn't see that, or I got your point, but that's my priority right now, and that's it. Right? We move
Wow.
on, or we do big things. And actually, he and I were doing big things right now because of that relationship. He's very good at what he does. I see things that he doesn't. And then boom, boom, boom.
So, you know how that makes me feel right away when you say that, if I was faced with that kind of response, I would feel inclusive. I would feel
Seen.
seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is it so I know like when you go to, well, I've been to leadership, maybe not, but when I was to a leadership course, people would say, well, ask more questions. But if it's not an authentic curiosity,
Yes. Yeah.
it doesn't land, does it?
Yeah. No.
It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. It has to
yeah.
come from the heart. It
So
has to come
explain
from
that. Explain that to me. What does that mean? Come from the heart.
the heart. We are energy first. So you feel what you feel and trust that. That's called guts. That's called intuition. So I know you're very natural with me right now. I know. I don't even question it.
Hmm.
And the more you practice it. So it's not about the other one, it's how you like that with others. And the more you know what it feels like inside of you to be that person. Like, maybe 10 years ago you would have told me I'm testing you right now. I would have freaked out. But I'm so anchored
Hmm.
in who I am that I don't need you to like me. So that is what you feel when you're with whoever, a boss or anything, when it comes from that place of love.
Hmm.
Absolutely. When you know who you are, you know what you're talking about, you know that your energy is pure. It's not hard to say, let's jump on a Teams call
Yeah.
because I don't agree with you and I'd
Yeah.
like to discuss it a little bit
I love
Yeah.
more,
that.
right? It's not difficult to do that. Even I have been working together for almost 25 years. And so we know each other deeply. There's some things that we can let go and be totally okay with. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm following you. I trust you
Yeah.
so much that I'm going to follow you. And he's the same way. Shelley, I don't know, but I'll follow you. The one thing that we have discovered along the way is we're great leaders, but we're even better followers. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
no trouble. So anybody on the team, and that means anybody here at Dovaco. So when you trust yourself enough, because it matters more that you trust yourself than you actually trust that other person, to tell you the
Exactly.
honest truth. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I love that. I love that, Angelique. I love the fact that you use love. You've heard me say that to you before. I think that it is something that us women have brought into the leadership world. And a few men, I've seen a few men bring it in as well. I think it softens the business. I think it grounds the business. I think it creates balance for your business. I think that sometimes I know even my guys here, because I'm always telling them I love them or, hugging on them and whatnot. And at first, it was difficult. but now we line up to hug one another. We line up to love on one another. And I think that that is the way that we create the balance in the world. Like you had said 10 years ago, it kind of became a gift to us, if you will, that we were discovering this life work balance. Well, we have one life, right? We have one life. So let's live it well. Both at home, at work, while we're on a walk, whatever we're doing, let's live it well. Time is so finite. You know, the month of February, I had a friend that contracted pancreatic cancer, a really rare form of pancreatic cancer. And from diagnosis to death was 9 days. 9 days.
Wow.
So we don't have a whole lot. We lost Yves' sister, Shelley, a great friend, in 6 weeks, just recently. So our life is, we are here to, we're meant to enjoy it. We're meant to live it in love. And there's enough hate in this world that we don't have to actually even face it or look at it. If we turn our energy away from the hate and the negative bias and always, always focus on love, you will find that your reaction is less, your attachment is less. And all of a sudden, yourself feels so much more engaged. Awareness is key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awareness is key. And I think that that's what you really bring is an awareness of why we hate social media or why we love social media, but why we do the things that we do. So I am so thankful for you to be here today. Do you have any final words that you'd love to leave us with?
Yes, going back to the notion of courage, to me, courage is that knowing that the mind may not recognize as a thing that is safe to do, but is to allow yourself, and because of the finite timing we have, that the only way to get what you want out of life is to step into the unknown, because everything
Yeah.
you desire is in the unknown and you don't know if it's going to work out. And that's why it's so key to feel your fears and dance with them so that you can go and check it out. And the more you grow, the more you step into the unknown and surrender. And sometimes it's ugly, but it always works because we are so supported by the universe, whatever you believe in, and that energy that if you focus on that, it always work, always, always, and trusting that. And that's very courageous.
Beautiful.
Okay, I have more questions. It's so good.
Oh, well, we'll have to do a part two then.
I would love it. Like so, surrender, like go into the unknown. These are beautiful words. And so can I just a couple of things you left me with, I think maybe just to wrap up for the audience, and we're getting over the time, but thank you. One, you know, being a conscious leader means that you're radically responsible for your thoughts and your body and your mind, and you're not your body and your mind. You're more than that. And it means like grounding down on your energy and surrendering to the unknown, which means that you're more curious than not. This is where courage comes from. This is what I'm here. And it's not a female or male thing. It's a conscious awareness of becoming somebody better than you were yesterday. That's what I'm hearing from you.
You're a good, you're better than my AI machine to recap. I love it.
Maybe
Thank
I
you.
am AI. And
I love it.
and like pairing up or connecting with consciousness or conscious or radically responsible people is key in life. And when you do that, your whole world changes. This is what I'm getting from you. And the more you have radically responsible personalities around you, the more you become radically responsible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm hearing. And that's what I'm getting from you. It's like, it's not about what you say, what you don't say, what you do, what you don't do. It's about being radically responsible for your energy.
Yes, that's our only job. Because from a scientific point of view. Like, you know, the higher your frequency is in hertz, right? So it expands. And we all feel that when we go in a room where it's like full of joy, like you don't even have to think, I need to be joyful. Like you're like, oh my God, those people are fun, right? The contrary is true too. Like you go in a room that is like, you're like, ah. So we have to stop denying that we are energy first. It's scientifically proved. And when you are in your highest frequency, it unlocks so many things in your heart and in your brain, and you become creative beyond measure.
Love it.
You know, I do a lot of retreats and workshops with female entrepreneurs. I did 3 in a row, like part of the International Women's Day. And when you put people in a room from that place, like the next project is already baked right there. Right? The collective is magical.
It's so true. So let's leave the audience with one of your favorite books or authors.
Book.
Or your book.
My book, yes, but one that is not
Do
mine.
that.
Let me get the right. So that's my book, but I want to give you the right title because I always get it wrong the way I say it. A happy, full pocket of money. The happy, I think maybe it's the same word reversed. A happy, full pocket of money, something like this.
Well, I want to read your book. So I'll start with that one.
It's a good book. I've read it.
read it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I have it. I'll give it to you. Awesome. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for being here. And I do see a huge synergy. And I knew that was going to happen. So thank you so much, Angelique. I'm Shelley Butler.
I'm Yves Doucet.
And this has been Mindset Monday. Stay tuned for part 2. Mwah. Love you. Don't forget to get your workout in. And how are you showing up?